Welcome to Sri Lanka, the teardrop-shaped island nestled in the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean. Few places on Earth combine such a rich mosaic of landscapes, traditions, and histories in such a compact space. As the sun rises over the coast, fishing boats return to the beaches, their nets heavy with the promise of a new day. In the distance, Buddhist temple bells echo between coconut palms, and the scent of cinnamon mingles with salty air. Sri Lanka's story begins long before written history, in forests once roamed by elephants and leopards, and on shores that welcomed travelers from Arabia, Europe, and East Asia. Today, its cultural heritage is woven into every aspect of life. You'll see Buddhist dagobas rising above busy markets, Christian churches alongside Hindu koviles, and ancient traditions living on in daily rituals. Each region has its own rhythm, from the colonial echoes of Gauls Fort to the vibrant pulse of Colombo's streets, from misty hill stations to silent ruins swallowed by jungle. The island's climate is as varied as its people. The monsoon paints one side green as the other bakes in sun. Rice paddies shimmer beside arid plains, and within hours, a traveler can move from coral reefs to mountain cloud forests. This diversity is matched by a warmth and hospitality for which Sri Lankans are renowned. Whether sharing tea on a veranda or lighting a lamp in a temple at dusk, you are invited to join not just as a visitor, but as a guest. This journey across Sri Lanka will not rush. Instead, it invites you to slow down and observe, to feel the rhythm of waves on southern beaches, to watch elephants graze by ancient reservoirs, to listen to the quiet footfalls of pilgrims on sacred ground. Along the way, you'll discover that Sri Lanka's beauty lies not only in its famous landmarks, but in the small moments: an old man carving a mask, a child releasing a lantern, the hush of dawn in a mountain village. Let's begin our exploration with open eyes and a gentle pace, seeking both the grandeur and the details that make Sri Lanka unforgettable. Rising dramatically above the flat green plains of central Sri Lanka stands Sigiriya, the Lion Rock. This colossal monolith is more than a natural wonder. It's a fusion of geology, artistry, and ambition. In the late 5th century, King Kassapa chose this ancient rock as the site for his capital, carving a palace atop its summit and transforming the surrounding area into one of the earliest and most sophisticated urban landscapes in South Asia. The approach to Sigiriya is ceremonial. You cross symmetrical water gardens and stroll through landscaped terraces, their layout still visible after more than 1,000 years. The path ascends past enormous boulders and caves that once sheltered Buddhist monks. As you climb, you encounter the legendary frescoes, delicate paintings of celestial maidens whose vibrant colors defy the passage of time. Further on, the mirror wall, once polished to a glassy sheen, preserves ancient graffiti from visitors long gone. Midway up, the massive Lion's Gate marks the start of the final ascent. 2 huge stone paws, all that remain of a colossal lion sculpture, flank a steep stairway carved into the rock. Above, the summit reveals the ruins of Kassapa's palace. Stone foundations, bathing pools, and breathtaking 360-degree views across jungle and distant mountains. Even today, the wind at the top carries an almost sacred silence. Sigiriya is more than a monument to royal ego. It reflects a unique synthesis of engineering, aesthetics, and spirituality. The site is a UNESCO World Heritage Treasure, admired not only for its archaeological importance, but for the vision it represents. A place where nature and human creativity meet, suspended between earth and sky. In the fertile heart of Sri Lanka's north-central plains, Polonnaruwa rises from the earth as a testament to the island's medieval brilliance. After the decline of Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa became the capital in the 11th century, a city of planned symmetry, broad avenues, gleaming palaces, and monastic tranquility. Today, its ruins span several square kilometers, offering a stone chronicle of a civilization that valued harmony, engineering, and spiritual devotion. Exploring Polonnaruwa is like turning the pages of a vast open-air history book. At the city's core, the royal palace of King Parakramabahu once soared 7 stories high, though only thick brick walls and scattered columns remain. The council chamber stands nearby, with lotus-carved steps and intricately decorated guard stones that mark the passage from the secular to the sacred. Among the most awe-inspiring monuments is Gal Vihara, a row of colossal Buddha images hewn from a single granite outcrop. The serene faces of the seated, standing, and reclining Buddhas convey a timeless peace, their stone forms weathered yet ageless. Throughout the ruins, you find dagobas, stupas, image houses, and stone baths, each a window into a sophisticated society that managed water, cultivated art, and cherished learning. Polonnaruwa is also famous for the Parakrama Samudra, a vast artificial lake that still sparkles today, a marvel of ancient hydraulic engineering. Its waters nourished fields, supported cities, and provided a buffer against drought. The tank's construction stands as a reminder that prosperity and sustainability were once central to the Sri Lankan vision. Walking through Polonnaruwa in the early morning, mist rising off lotus ponds, you sense the pulse of a place that was both pragmatic and visionary. Here, every stone tells a story of rulers who dreamed big, artisans who worked with patience, and monks who sought peace in contemplation. To visit Polonnaruwa is to witness a chapter where the human spirit and the land's quiet resilience found common ground. As the land rises towards the central spine of the island, the air turns crisp, the light softens, and the world slows down. Sri Lanka's central highlands are a region of rolling green hills, veiled in mist and streaked with the silver of waterfalls. Here, the legendary Ceylon tea is cultivated on steep terraces, an inheritance of colonial times, but now a symbol of national pride. The journey to the highlands leads through winding roads bordered by eucalyptus and cypress, past small villages where Tamil tea pluckers in colorful saris gather the day's harvest by hand. Nuwara Eliya, often called Little England, is a town of old stone houses, rose gardens, and cricket fields. Its climate cool enough for strawberries and carrots to thrive alongside the iconic tea bushes. Tea dominates the landscape and the culture. The picking, weighing, withering, rolling, and drying of tea leaves is an intricate dance, carried out in weathered factories whose scent of sweet hay and smoke fills the air. The resulting beverage, amber, fragrant, with a hint of mountain freshness, remains one of Sri Lanka's most cherished exports and daily rituals. Yet the highlands are more than plantations. Horton Plains National Park is a plateau of cloud forest and grassland where rare sambar deer graze and the mysterious whistling thrush sings at dawn. The trail to World's End, a sheer cliff dropping 870 meters, reveals a panorama stretching to the southern coast on clear days. Waterfalls such as Ramboda and Devon cascade down rock faces, their spray hanging in the cold air. Amidst all this, the region's colonial past is never far away. Grand hotels with wood-paneled lounges recall the British era. But today, the highlands are distinctly Sri Lankan, a place of spiritual pilgrimage, agricultural innovation, and quiet retreat. Whether you come for tea, trekking, or tranquility, the highlands offer a glimpse into the gentle heart of the island. In the heart of Sri Lanka's dry zone, where forests give way to wide-open plains, nature orchestrates one of its most impressive spectacles, the annual elephant gathering at Minneriya. Each dry season, between July and September, hundreds of wild Asian elephants migrate from surrounding forests to the shores of the ancient Minneriya tank, a massive reservoir built by King Mahasan over 1,700 years ago. As water sources elsewhere shrink, Minneriya becomes an oasis, drawing elephants from near and far. The gathering is an extraordinary display of animal behavior and social structure. Families, led by experienced matriarchs, arrive in groups, greeting relatives with rumbling calls and gentle trunk touches. Young calves splash in the shallows or chase egrets across the grass. Solitary bulls, sometimes bearing impressive tusks, linger at the edges, vying for dominance or seeking a mate. The air is thick with the earthy scent of mud and the low thunder of distant herds. For visitors, witnessing the gathering is both thrilling and humbling. From a respectful distance, safari jeeps watch as up to 300 elephants share the same space, grazing, wallowing, communicating in ways both subtle and spectacular. Other animals, too, join the scene. Spotted deer, toque macaques, and flocks of painted storks create a vibrant, multi-species tableau. But the spectacle also highlights the fragility of this ancient relationship between elephants, people, and water. As agriculture expands and forest corridors shrink, human-elephant conflict increases. Electric fences, busy roads, and poaching threaten these gentle giants. Conservation efforts focus on habitat protection, community education, and sustainable tourism to ensure that future generations will witness this timeless pageant. The Minneriya elephant gathering is a reminder of what's possible when nature's rhythms are respected and preserved. For the elephants, it's a chance to reaffirm bonds and teach the next generation. For humans, it's a privilege, a glimpse into the deep, communal life of Sri Lanka's largest land mammals. Nestled among green hills and shimmering lakes, Kandy is the cultural and spiritual heart of Sri Lanka. The city is best known for the temple of the sacred tooth relic, Sri Dalada Maligawa, one of the most venerated Buddhist sites in the world. Legend holds that the Buddha's tooth was brought to Sri Lanka in the 4th century, hidden in the hair of a princess fleeing persecution in India. Over centuries, this relic became a symbol of sovereignty. To possess the tooth was to rule the land. The temple complex is a harmonious blend of architecture, art, and ritual. Ornate roofs sweep upward over whitewashed walls. Inside, a labyrinth of shrines, chambers, and courtyards surrounds the inner sanctum where the relic is kept, hidden from public view, guarded day and night. At dawn and dusk, the air vibrates with the sound of traditional drums and the fragrance of burning incense, as pilgrims from across the island offer lotus flowers and prayers. Kandy itself pulses with life. Markets brim with fruits, spices, and batik fabrics. Tuk-tuks buzz through busy streets, weaving between colonial-era buildings and modern shops. But it's the Isla Perahera, the city's most dazzling festival, that best reveals its soul. Each year, for 10 nights, Kandy transforms as torch-bearing dancers, acrobats, and ornately decorated elephants parade through the streets, reenacting centuries-old rituals that blend faith, art, and history. Beyond the temple, Kandy is a city of gardens, universities, and cultural institutions. The Royal Botanic Gardens at Minneriya host thousands of plant species, towering palms, orchid collections, and rare medicinal herbs. The city's music, dance, and craftsmanship have set standards across the island. For many, a visit to Kandy is a pilgrimage, an opportunity to connect with the spiritual legacy of Sri Lanka, to witness living traditions, and to find moments of peace amid the gentle hills and temple bells. On the remote southern coast of Sri Lanka, where the roar of the Indian Ocean meets moonlit sand, Rekawa Beach becomes a stage for one of nature's oldest and most fragile rituals. Each night, especially from April to September, female sea turtles emerge from the surf to lay their eggs, a return guided by instinct, memory, and forces still not fully understood. 5 species nest on these shores: the green turtle, loggerhead, hawksbill, olive ridley, and the critically endangered leatherback. Some have traveled thousands of kilometers across open ocean to reach this single stretch of beach. Under the cover of darkness, a turtle hauls her heavy body up the sand, digging a deep pit with her powerful flippers. She deposits over 100 leathery eggs, covers them with sand, and returns to the sea, leaving only faint tracks as evidence of her labor. After about 2 months, the hatchlings emerge in clusters, their tiny bodies instinctively rushing toward the sound and reflection of the waves. The journey is perilous. Predators lurk in the sky and sand, and only a small fraction survive their first hours. But for those that do, the ocean will be both home and crucible, carrying them far before, perhaps years later, drawing them back to Rekawa to repeat the cycle. Rekawa's significance goes beyond biology. Local communities, once reliant on harvesting turtle eggs, now help to protect them. Guided turtle watches, led by trained locals, offer visitors the chance to observe nesting without disturbing the animals. Conservationists monitor nests, shield them from poaching, and educate both residents and tourists on the turtle's importance. This fragile balance is threatened by pollution, beachfront development, and climate change. Artificial lights can disorient hatchlings, plastic waste poses deadly hazards, and erosion eats away at the nesting ground. Yet, every successful hatching, every returning mother, is a testament to resilience and hope, a small victory for life on an ever-changing shore. Rekawa at night is a place of quiet awe. With patience and respect, visitors can witness the ancient, silent drama of birth and return, reminding us that even in a modern world, some miracles still unfold, in darkness and sand.
Along Sri Lanka's southern coast, where turquoise waters meet long arcs of sand, the island's character shifts once more. This region is famed for its vibrant coral reefs, spice gardens, and a way of life shaped by centuries of seafaring and trade. Beneath the surface, the reefs support a dazzling ecosystem. Parrotfish, angelfish, moray eels, and sea anemones weave between branching corals in the clear, warm sea. At dawn, local fishermen launch wooden outriggers called oruwa, casting nets in waters that have fed families for generations. On calm mornings, you might spot spinner dolphins leaping, or even the massive back of a blue whale breaking the horizon, the world's largest creature navigating ancient migratory routes. Cinnamon, native to this coast, was once more precious than gold. The spice gardens around towns like Matara and Gao still produce the world's best true cinnamon, its sweet aroma drifting through the air as bark is harvested and sun-dried by hand. Historic Gao Fort, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, stands as a monument to centuries of cross-cultural exchange, its ramparts built by the Portuguese, strengthened by the Dutch, and now watched over by the modern Sri Lankan Navy. Inside the walls, narrow streets bustle with cafes, art galleries, and families whose ancestry may stretch back to Arab, Chinese, or European traders. The southern coast has known hardship too. The 2004 tsunami devastated many villages, claiming lives and livelihoods. In its aftermath, new coral replanting projects, sustainable fishing initiatives, and community-led conservation have helped restore both nature and hope. Here, days end with golden sunsets, beach cricket, and the rhythmic chant of Buddhist monks. The southern coast is both frontier and refuge, where Sri Lanka's resilience is written in coral, cinnamon, and the ceaseless dance of waves. High in the central highlands, Horton Plains National Park offers a landscape unlike any other in Sri Lanka. A plateau where cloud forests meet wild grasslands, and silence stretches from misty valleys to distant peaks. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, sitting above 2,000 meters, is both a refuge for rare wildlife and a living museum of the island's ancient ecology. The park's unique blend of habitats supports species found nowhere else on Earth. Herds of sambar deer graze quietly in the open plains, their antlers silhouetted against the dawn. Elusive leopards, shaggy bear monkeys, and even the diminutive Horton Plains slender loris hide among dense forests. Birds are everywhere. The Sri Lanka whistling thrush, yellow-eared bulbul, and the endemic Sri Lanka bush warbler lend their voices to the hush of morning. A highlight of any visit is the trek to World's End, a sheer escarpment where the plateau drops abruptly nearly 900 meters to the tea country below. On clear days, the view stretches all the way to the southern coast. On misty mornings, clouds boil up the cliff, erasing the world and amplifying the sense of isolation. Baker's Falls, a curtain of water tumbling over rocks and ferns, offers a cool respite along the trail. Horton Plains is more than scenery. The park's montane forests are the source of 3 of the island's major rivers, including the Mahaweli. Centuries of overgrazing, fire, and invasive species have left their mark, but careful conservation and research have allowed much of the plateau's original character to survive. Early in the morning, when dew clings to wildflowers and the only sound is wind in the grass, Horton Plains feels untouched by time. It is a sanctuary for nature, solitude, and anyone seeking a deeper connection to Sri Lanka's ancient heart. Across Sri Lanka, masks are more than decorative artifacts. They are gateways to the island's spiritual, cultural, and psychological worlds. Carved from soft Kaduru wood and painted in vibrant hues, these masks are essential to traditional rituals, healing ceremonies, and theatrical performances that blend myth, history, and satire. The Kolam dance drama, still performed in coastal villages, uses comic and grotesque masks to portray a cast of kings, demons, animals, and villagers. The plays, accompanied by drums and flutes, lampoon local politics and social norms, offering both entertainment and catharsis. Even today, a Kolam performance at a wedding or New Year's festival is a celebration of community, memory, and resistance to authority. Sani masks, meanwhile, embody the spirits of illness, 32 in all, each linked to a particular affliction from fever to snakebite to madness. In elaborate exorcism ceremonies, traditional healers don the masks and enact dances intended to drive out disease-causing demons, blending ancient beliefs with drama and music. For the afflicted and their families, the ritual brings hope, order, and relief. The art of mask-making is itself a sacred craft passed down through families in towns like Ambalangoda. Artisans use natural pigments and tools little changed in centuries, infusing each mask with personality, symbolism, and cultural memory. In modern Sri Lanka, masks are also cherished as heritage objects, displayed in homes, museums, and tourist shops, yet their deeper meanings endure, reminders that identity is layered, that the line between the visible and invisible is thin, and that healing is both art and act. Far beyond Sri Lanka's southern reefs, the deep blue of the Indian Ocean conceals some of the planet's largest and most graceful creatures. Minneriya and Trincomalee have become world-renowned hubs for marine mammal watching, especially from December to April, when nutrient-rich currents attract blue whales, the largest animals ever known. Setting out at sunrise, small boats skim over gentle swells, while seabirds dive and flying fish scatter. With patience and luck, a low plume appears on the horizon. Then a broad, steel-gray back rises, and for a few brief moments, the immense blue whale, up to 30 meters long, glides just beneath the surface, exhaling a fountain of breath into the morning air. Sometimes, a tail fluke signals the start of a deep dive, vanishing into silence and mystery. Sperm whales, with their boxy heads and social pods, also patrol these waters, as do playful pods of spinner and bottlenose dolphins. On some lucky days, dolphins leap alongside boats by the hundred, weaving complex patterns and drawing delighted cheers from visitors and crew. Whale watching in Sri Lanka is carefully regulated to protect the animals and their habitat. Responsible operators adhere to strict codes, keeping safe distances and avoiding any disturbance. Researchers collect data on migration, behavior, and threats, crucial work in an era when ocean plastic, ship traffic, and climate change endanger marine giants worldwide. For many, seeing a whale or dolphin in its natural home is a moment of awe that lingers long after the boat returns to shore. It is a reminder of the ocean's vastness, the interconnectedness of life, and the need to respect and protect these ancient navigators for future generations. As our journey across Sri Lanka draws to a close, the memories linger like incense in a quiet temple, or the mist rising from tea fields at dawn. We have crossed rivers and rainforests, wandered ancient cities, watched elephants and whales, and stood in silence on moonlit beaches as turtles returned from the deep. Sri Lanka's beauty lies not just in its famous sights,
but in the spaces between, in the kindness of a market vendor, the laughter of children chasing kites, the slow rhythm of village life, and the resilience of communities rebuilding after storms. The island's many faiths, languages, and traditions do not erase one another. They intertwine, shaping a living tapestry that is both ancient and new. For travelers, Sri Lanka offers more than photographs or souvenirs. It offers the chance to witness, to learn, and to reflect on our place within the web of nature and history. The challenges are real: habitat loss, climate change, and social upheaval. But so is the determination to protect what remains. As you depart, let the quiet lessons of Sri Lanka travel with you. Patience, respect, curiosity, and the understanding that even the smallest island can contain worlds. Thank you for sharing this journey. Stay curious, stay healthy,